What's up, everybody? It's Kyle once again with another episode of Unlocking Your Inner Strength. This is episode 247. Going to be going over the fastest way to slow down your time today. Before I get into that, I want to tell you a amusing story. At least I thought it was amusing about these glasses. So I've been wearing, my different colors. And depending what I have to get done or what mood I'm in, is depending what color I'll put on. So Saturday night, we went on a date with another couple, the Trump National Golf Club, which was a cool experience. And we got out of the truck. We got there a little bit after them. It was really cold Saturday, dark and cold. And we're walking in. And I had to go back to the truck to get my wallet. And I said, you know what? I'm going to wear my yellow glasses that I drove there with. So we're going to this nice country club. And I thought, man, maybe this is going to be a little weird if I wear these in. But I said, you know what? It makes me feel better. I'm going to wear them in. So I wear them into we sit down at the table in the dining room. And my buddy says, you didn't have glasses last time I saw you, did you? And so I go into the story, I tell him, blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, we're enjoying our dinner, and then one of the maitre d's comes over, and he bends over, and I didn't understand what he was saying at first, and he says, I really like those glasses, your yellow glasses, those are really cool. I said, oh, thanks, man. He said, I got a couple pairs myself, and I have these translucent glasses. And I'm like, oh, man, that's cool. And I'm like, did you guys put him up to this? And they did not. So anyway, he comes back later in the meal and says, I'm actually going to give you a pair of my translucent glasses. I said, no, you don't have to do that. He goes, no, I got 3 pairs. I'm going to give you a pair of my translucent glasses. So these are the translucent glasses from our dinner date at Trump National Country Club the other night. And when we were walking out to leave, we say bye to the hostess. She's downstairs. She goes, you were the guy with the yellow glasses. I heard about you. And I just thought it was pretty funny. But that wouldn't have happened if I was just trying to fit in. So there you go. Now today what I'm going to talk about in the next 10 minutes, or until my buzzer goes off, which is a part of this, is energy management / time management. This is a question. This is actually a workshop I used to do probably twice a year. I'm actually going to be doing it again soon. But it's what I call time mastery. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks that I use that help me. Hopefully that can help you as far as allocating time and figuring out how you're going to divide and use your time wisely. That's the key. Time is the one thing that we do not get back. It's arguably the most valuable thing that we have is time. Oh, and we could go into a whole thing. I've read some very interesting books on time and the power of time and all that and the spiritual aspect of time. But today I want to make this just a practical, here's what you can do with your time. So the first thing, when we're talking about time and we're talking about work, productivity is the name of the game. Productivity on the right project. So this is all going to tie together. So I use an app called Focus Keeper. It doesn't matter what your app is. I like that one. But I always work to the clock. So you'll probably hear that go off towards the end of this. Right now I'm working in 27-minute blocks. Then I get a 5-minute break. And after this 4th block right here, because your brain starts to get fried a little bit, I'll take a little bit longer of a break and I'll go use a snowblower on the driveway, come back in and do another 4 rounds. So you got to work to the clock. That is essential. I cannot stress this enough when you're trying to be highly productive is you have to work to the clock. You can't just leave it open-ended. If you leave it open-ended, it's called Parkinson's Law. The work will expand to fill the time that you give it. So do not just leave it open-ended, your work. There's got to be a time on everything you're doing. Now, on the macro level, projects that you're working on have to have a deadline. So Friday, when I was planning out some stuff, I set a deadline for an internal workshop we're doing and a webinar I'm going to be doing. Now I know they're going to get done. Deadlines are your lifelines. Nothing gets done without a deadline, so you got to have deadlines. Let's go with planning next, right? So you have goals, or hopefully you have goals. Now each day you got to plan out, and I like to do this at night, the next day, what has to be done that next day to move you closer to your goal. So it's like micro goals within the big goal. You got to think small. Don't think I've got to go from 0 to 500, whatever the 500 is. If you're going to think like that, how do I get from 0 to 1? Now, what are the strategies and or tactics I've got to add, on my daily list to move forward on that? In the getting of the 1 or the 500 is an effect of the cause. So you got to realize this. But you think small. Focus in the moment. Put all your energy into whatever it is that you're doing. Where your attention goes, your energy flows, and results will manifest. Results will follow. So you got to remember that. So planning. Do take a couple minutes the night before. There was an old book I read or listened to actually when I was still teaching. And this is like probably 100 years old at this point, this story. But the one guy went up to, I believe it was Andrew Carnegie or one of the high rollers from back in the day, and said, I want a secret to how to become wealthy like you. So let's say it's Carnegie. He writes something down, folds it up on this piece of paper, gives it back to Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And later on when he reads it, it says, plan out your day the night before. He said, that's it? And he goes, that will make you a fortune if you're talking about monetary wealth. But it's this idea of conscious planning, taking time to plan. So many people just wake up, what am I going to do today? You can't do that because you're going to get mediocre results. If that's your attitude, that's the type of day you're going to have. If you take a disciplined approach to each day, that is the type of results you're going to have. So you're choosing. I just wrote an article about the quality of your mindset determines the quality of your behavior. And that is key to keep in that frontal human part of your brain. So we're planning, and then discipline is a huge thing. Discipline is huge. Discipline, you got to reframe this in your head. Most people hear discipline and they think that it's a rigid life. It's less fun. It's less freedom. Discipline will lead to more freedom. Discipline leads to more freedom. When you know what you're doing with your time, you can plan out much easier. You can plan in things like fun. You can plan in things like dates, family time. But they don't scraps, and there's the buzzer. So I'm going to wrap up here in the next minute or two. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. You work to a clock. And you could finish the thought, or you could literally stop. Now, being that I'm live, I'm not just going to stop, but that's the point of those working to the clock. And last thing I'll tell you is when you're planning, plan for chaos. Chaos is going to happen. The brain loves predictions, because then it can respond. Response is a human characteristic, reaction is an animal characteristic. So you'll know what part of your brain you're in depending if you're responding or reacting to the situation. But plan for chaos. So if you think you have 8 hours to work, you got 4. Plan for 4, right? If you get extra done, you're good to go. And I'll tell you this, with high focus work, when you're really working, I'm not talking about grunt work and doing stuff like answering emails and all that. I'm talking about creative output work. What I found to be true is about 4 hours is the maximum for intentional, creative, high focus work before your brain kind of gets fried. 4 hours. But you got to take breaks within there. But that's what I found to be true. So there you have it. The biggest thing I can tell you if you're going to implement any of this stuff right away is work to the clock. Whatever you're doing, set a clock, set a timer, get into that habit. Kind of gamifies everything, keeps you engaged, and that is the way to go. So that's all I got for you. So hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button if you're watching on Facebook. You'll be able to find us on YouTube as well on my Kyle Newell channel. And you can find it on iTunes. And the website is up, so you can go to kylenewell.com. And I actually got to find out the name of the URL where you get the free gift. But go to kylenewell.com, just give me some feedback on it, and I'll be putting that information out soon where you can get my top 10 book list and my updated fasting manual that has mind mapping principles, 5 mind mapping principles within it. All right, you all have a great day.